Sorry, the thumbnail was a lie. I didn't actually get a level 501 4 of a kind. This run took so long that I just had to give up at this point. Instead, I actually got a level... Wait. What's that? Oh, I did get a level 501 4 of a kind, with 500 extra Mars level ups to use. Welcome to part 3 out of 13 of my Optimizing Balatro series. In this video, I get over level 1004 of a kind, setting the world record for the highest hand level. I make it to ante 38 after 4 hours, and now it's time to start using all of these Mars cards. This is gonna take a while. Let's rewind. This was my 21st attempt at this run. I wasn't kidding when I said that this took forever. I spent over 40 hours trying to get this run. It was not fun. But here it is. This is on my VEIR seed. This is a seed I found a few days after the game released, and I played it basically non-stop. I've optimized this seed so much that starting from round 1, I started to collect one of every planet card, so that by round 9, I'll have one of each. These planet cards are super useful as I pick up the Joker Satellite. Satellite gives $1 per unique planet card purchased. This is an insane amount of money to get in the early game. Let's back up to round 2 where I pick up Brainstorm, and then on round 7, Perkeo. Perkeo is a legendary Joker that makes this run possible. I rearrange with Brainstorm and start duplicating 2 Mars cards per round. By round 11, I pick up Blueprint. Stacking Blueprint and Brainstorm, I can get 3 copies on Perkeo per round. These Mars cards aren't super useful now, but eventually I'll pick up Observatory. And when I do, each of these Mars cards will give 1.5x a mult for an insane score. I keep duplicating Mars cards all the way to ante 8 and crush early game, getting 1.8 million versus 200,000. And now it's time for Endless Mode, where the run really begins. I start Endless Mode by rerolling for Seance. Seance will give a spectral card every time I make a straight flush. I'm then going to try to make as many straight flushes as possible as I need a few Ectoplasm spectral cards. I'll fast forward a little bit. You'll see that I actually held on to some Moon Tarot cards, and actually some were duplicated by Perkeo. These are super useful to hold on to as I'm hunting for straight flushes. With my very first straight flush, I picked up an Ectoplasm. This is perfect. I use it right away and it hits Brainstorm. I then pick up 4 Fingers, which is going to make making straight flushes so much easier. On my very second straight flush, I get another Ectoplasm. This is perfect. I need 3 Ectoplasms total to get the maximum amount of Jokers that I can playing 4 of kinds. I keep playing straight flushes, and I didn't realize that holding on to the Ectoplasm is probably not allowing more to spawn. In my head, I thought that this would work, but in practice, I probably need the Joker like Showman to get more Ectoplasms. By round 28, I pick up an Invisible Joker. I sell Bull and pick it up. How am I going to make points without Bull? Well, I actually picked up Observatory in round 26. For round 6, I use as many tarot cards as I can to thin my deck and convert any other cards to 3s. I want to have as many 3s as possible to guarantee that I can play a 4 of a kind. By round 29, after selling Bull, I have 12 3s. It gives me great odds for playing a 4 of a kind, and I play my first one. Here, all of those duplicated Mars cards go off in a chain with the Observatory voucher. And I get this insane score of E22. Each round, the E goes up by roughly 1 from the extra Mars cards that are duplicated with Perkeo. I sell Seance and Four Fingers, and let that Invis Joker pop. I get an extra blueprint, which is great because now I can make 4 Mars cards per round. I crush round 32 before heading to the shop to reroll for one of the most important jokers of this run. I need some way to get as high of a hand level as possible, and ideally something that can be re-triggered with Blueprint or Brainstorm. And luckily I find it! The Burnt Joker. Burnt Joker is about to go crazy. It's a little weird getting used to. You have to discard by playing cards, in a sense, because the first discard is what triggers Burnt Joker. So setting up my 4 of a kind, and by pressing discard, I get this. It's time for some fun. I'll fast forward the next few rounds. I just go crazy with the Burnt Joker, getting 4 level ups every round with my discards. This is so satisfying. Sadly, Perkeo never accidentally duplicated my Ectoplasm, so I need to get another one. And thankfully, I reroll and find a Seance. I use the Ectoplasm that I've been holding on to, and it hits Perkeo, which is great. I then pick up this extra Seance and try to make one last straight flush. I actually got super lucky and got it on my very first hand. Now I don't have to worry about getting any more Ectoplasms, so I can sell Seance and focus just on getting extra hand levels. And with all the spare time on my hands, I learned how to make this sick montage. That's right, that was 16 level ups. I'm consistently getting hand levels every round with the Burnt Joker. However, it would be great to get level ups during the shops. And let's go, I find Showman. Showman will allow Mars cards to show up in the shops. They don't normally show up because I'm holding on to Mars cards in the consumable area. I'm gonna need a lot of money for rerolls. If only I had some way to get extra money. Well, luckily, since round 6, I've been collecting 3s, but not just any 3s, Polychrome 3s, but not just any Polychrome 3s, Lucky Polychrome 3s, but not just any Lucky Polychrome 3s, Gold Seal Lucky Polychrome 3s, but not just any Lucky Gold Seal Polychrome 3s, Lucky Gold Seal Polychrome 3s of Hearts. I try to get as many of these cards as possible, and by picking up a DNA Joker, I can actually duplicate the 1 or 2 that I've created. Now that I got a few of these money cards, I pick up a Joker like Hack to cause re-triggers, line it up with my Blueprints and Brainstorm, and then re-trigger them as much as possible. Each time they're triggered, they give $3 from the Gold Seal, and they have a 1 in 15 chance to give $20 for being lucky. All the money I gain each round, I start rerolling the shops. And it happens! I get my first Mars card in the shop with Showman. I find a second, and then this happens. It's now back to using Burnt Joker to upgrade this hand level. The goal for this run is to get over level 1000, and if I'm going to do that, I need to start getting those hand levels early. And by round 50, I get over a level 80 hand level. By round 51, I've collected plenty of money cards. Plus the Hack with my Blueprints and Brainstorms, I get an insane amount of money just this round. I started with $139. I ended up getting $329, and that's before the cash out at the end of the round. I then make my first mistake of the run. I wasn't paying attention, and I actually upgraded the 3 of a kind with the Burnt Joker. Ugh! It's so unsatisfying to have that one level 3 for the 3 of a kind while all my other hands are level 2. I'm gonna purposefully find an arm to degrade that later. I'm that petty. Anyways, back to round 52. I pick up a Fool Tarot. Fool is actually super useful for getting more Mars cards. By buying and using a Mars I find in the shop, I then can use the Fool to get a Mars that just sits in my hand. It's actually great to have a Mars sit there that's not negative, because if I find an extra Fool, what I can do is use that Mars, and then use the Fool to get the Mars back. So in a sense, any Fool that I get is also a Mars card. I then reroll and luckily find a Brainstorm Joker with Showman. I sell Hack to pick it up, and now I'm making 5 Mars cards per round with Perkeo, and getting 5 level ups with Burnt Joker. Let's go. I'm then back on the Mars grind, getting as many level ups as possible. I actually had plenty of runs that ended in late game, because I couldn't get a level 1000 hand level. I got to ante 38 or 39, but I just could not get the level 1000 hand level also. So in the mid game, I'm trying my best. By round 55, I surpassed level 100. This alone is a cool achievement, but I'm only a tenth of the way there. I keep up the grind, letting Burnt Joker do most of the work, while picking up the occasional Mars with Showman. By round 57, something pretty cool happens. I get a Mars to show up in a planet pack, but it's not because of Showman. It's actually because of the telescope voucher. At this point, 4 of a kind is tied for the most played hand type, so from now on, every planet pack should contain a Mars card. In round 57, I pick up 4 Mars cards with Showman, before jumping to 58 to get the 5 level ups from Burnt Joker. This is kind of fun, finding 2 Mars cards in 1 planet pack. The second one showed up because of Showman. And then I reroll and this happens. I make room to use the High Priestess. And what do you know? I actually get a Mars card from it. The odds of this are very slim. Because I have Showman, the Mars shows up. I then reroll and find a Diet Cola. And actually, I bought and sold 2 of them, one on round 41 and one on round 42. It's actually worth it to sell Showman to buy and sell my 3rd Diet Cola for a tag I'll skip for later. I then leave the shop on round 58 and reroll for a good boss bind. And then the Manacle shows up, and I get a bad flashback. On attempt 11, after 3 grueling hours of this run, I wasn't thinking and selected the Manacle. I had exactly 4 card hand size, and the -1 hand size debuff made it so I could not play a 4 of a kind to trigger my observatory chain. This killed my run, and I was so mad. So I was very happy to spend the extra $10 to reroll for a different boss. I then get 5 level ups on round 59, and another 5 on round 60. This seed almost always has a negative Cartomancer. It's super fun to pick up, but once I do, it requires a lot of focus. So I rearrange for Perkeo to be on the left when I leave the shop. I then put Cartomancer in the very left when I select the blind. I then have to figure out what to do with my tarot cards. And then I rearranged yet again for the Burnt Joker. This run requires a lot of focus. Missing just 1 round of Burnt Joker level ups or Perkeo can set me back tremendously. I continue cruising through to round 62, getting another Burnt Joker trigger, before cashing out to pick up one of the best vouchers this run. It's the last +1 hand size voucher. With this extra +1 hand size, my total hand size is now 7. I can now use my last Ectoplasm to take my hand size back down to 4, which is perfect because I'm only playing 4 of kinds. And now with this extra Joker slot, I pick up a Showman. And now I'm back on the Showman grind. Showman Joker kinda goes crazy. I don't know if it's super necessary to get to level 1000, but in every run where I got close, it's because I had Showman. But also, Showman lets amazing cards show up, like an extra blueprint. This blueprint is going to be perfect. It'll give me an extra trigger on per KO, meaning I get 6 extra Mars cards per round. And then with Burnt Joker, I'm now getting 6 level ups per discard. And I told you earlier, I would reroll for an arm just to de-level my 3 of a kind. Look how satisfying, they're all level 2 now. I guess though, I still get a small debuff to my 4 of a kind, going down by 1 level, but honestly, it's worth it for my OCD. I'm just that petty. But anyways, I crushed round 65 with a score of E81. I am crushing it this run. So this is my 21st attempt. It may not seem like much, but when each attempt is 3 to 4 hours long, I have invested dozens of hours at this point in time to get this run. Every run that failed before this was basically from a stupid mistake, oftentimes just forgetting to buy a voucher when I really needed it. However, some of the runs got to very late game, ante 35, 36, 37, but they were nowhere near a level 1000 hand level. That's why I'm spending so much time now in the mid game to get these level ups. If I'm not working on them right now, I won't have time in the late game to catch up. Around 68, I get level 200. This is awesome, and surely this has to be close to world record already, but again, we're still not even a fifth of the way there. I just want to say thanks for watching this far, guys, and I'm sorry that this video took so long to come out. I actually just graduated college and was super busy with finals, but on top of that, I actually had pneumonia for a week. I was pretty brutal and wasn't able to record. These videos take a lot of time and effort, so I appreciate your patience, and I appreciate all the positive feedback. You guys have honestly made this so much fun, and I wasn't expecting this to blow up so much. So, just wanted to give a quick thank you. You guys rock. Now that I've graduated college, I should have a little bit more free time. I can't promise I'll have consistent uploads, but I'll try my best. I'm round 72 ahead of the shop, and then see a voucher tag. This is what I've been waiting so long for. I skip it, and my 3 double tags turn into 4 voucher tags. This is awesome. I'm hoping to get 1 special voucher. And let's go, I get it. If you see there, I got antimatter. I also got some other good vouchers like liquidation, which reduces the cost of items in the shop, got an extra discard, and then more money and interest. These are all vouchers that would have been great to get before ante 26, but I guess beggars can't be choosers. I pick up antimatter, and I'm going to try to find something to fit in that last slot. I continue hunting for more Mars cards, and then this happens. Let's go, this is my second High Priestess Mars card. I actually only got 2 this entire run, but I'm happy I did. It's round 74, and I get 6 more level ups with Burnt Joker. And then I reroll and find this. 2 Mars cards in the same shop, let's go. And check it out. It's like a 250, let's go. We're 4th of the way there. I also find an invisible Joker. It would be great to get an extra blueprint or brainstorm for Perkeo and Burnt Joker. I hold on to it and wait patiently for it to pop. I crush around 75, 76, and 77 before opening up my invisible Joker. And let's see what I get. Please be a blueprint, please be a brainstorm. This made me so mad. I'm 2 hours in at this point and I'm not restarting. Some people in the comments actually said there's potentially an exploit where if you exit back to the main menu after popping an invisible Joker, you can re-trigger it and see what else you would get. I think that's a bug and I'm not going to do it in the future runs. Instead, I reroll and find an idol. An idol is actually great, and it's what I used in my NANE video. The idol will give 2x to a particular card, and actually at this point, my deck is entirely 3s. In particular, 3 of hearts. Each time a 3 is triggered, it gets a 2x from idol, and then that effect stacks with my blueprints and brainstorms. I get EU 127 when the blind is EU 98. This is a massive lead. I jump into round 78 and 79 and continue the level up grind. And it truthfully is a grind at this point. Each time I'm playing, I have to wait several minutes for the Mars animations. And then I can't just skip the shops. I'm consistently spending my money on rerolls, trying to look for Fools or more Mars cards when I have a Showman. This run just takes so long to pull off. But anyways, jumping to round 80, I pick up a DNA Joker. At this point, I don't need any more money cards, but what I do need is some glass cards. It's actually worth selling the Burnt Joker now to get some glass cards, and I'll try to get the Burnt Joker back at some point. Earlier in the run, I put a red seal on a polychrome card and then turned it to glass. That card just so happened to show up when I had DNA, so that I could make several copies of it. These glass cards will be the win condition in the later antes, and having almost 50 of them, I think that should be enough. I then cruise through round 84 before getting a level 300 4 of a kind. And then rerolling, I get my Burnt Joker back. This was actually perfect timing. I have plenty of glass cards from DNA, and so I'll happily take the Burnt Joker back. Watching all the Burnt Joker animations is getting a little boring, so I thought I'd make this great montage, showing the level up from Burnt Joker every round. And that's a level 354 of a kind. And let's go, a level 404 of a kind. This run is going insane, and so am I a little bit. There's minutes between the Mars cards animations, and the shops take forever to reroll. These runs take several hours, so I need something to pass the time. For fun, I like to use tarot cards that have no effect. It just makes me smile a little bit to see that do nothing. But after I run out of tarot cards to use, I need something else to make the Mars animations a little bit more fun. I end up scoring E183 when the blind is 179. Blinds are slowly catching up, so I'll have to change that soon. I beat round 99, round 100, and round 101. However, the blinds are definitely getting close at this point. I now need to hunt for a Joker that can re-trigger my cards. This combined with Idol will give me enough score boost to keep going. I reroll until I find a Seltzer. At this point, I decide to sell a blueprint and take the Seltzer. If this was an NANE inf run, I would have sold the Burnt Joker. However, I still need the level ups from the Burnt Joker if I'm going to get a level 1004 of a kind. So I sell the blueprint instead. I of course use the Burnt Joker and get 6 extra level ups. And then I rearrange the Seltzer and Idol. Seltzer will get 2 triggers from blueprints, and the Idol will get 3 triggers from brainstorms. Combined, this should be enough points to keep me alive. I also am intentionally not playing glass cards right now. I should still have enough points to live by playing the money cards, and I really don't want to break the glass cards if I don't have to. In the later rounds, I'll have to start playing 4 glass cards just to stay alive, but for the time being, I'm scoring E212 versus E196. Seltzer and Idle give me enough room for comfort that I can do another 6 rounds of Burnt Joker upgrades and make this satisfying montage. I surpassed level 450 for my hand level. I'm definitely in record-setting territory at this point. I find a few miscellaneous Mars cards throughout the shops and get to level 490. With 4 glass cards and around 110, I get E252 versus E249. I am dangerously close to dying at this point in time. I'm going to need a way to get extra triggers on my idle or hack if I'm going to stay alive. I then head to the shop and get an extra Mars card from doing the Fool trick. In back-to-back rerolls, let's go. I'm so close to level 500, please, please, please. I reroll and find a Seltzer, let's go. I sell the Burnt Joker and pick up a Seltzer. This extra retrigger should give me enough points to stay alive past Ante 36. I really want to make it to Ante 39 in this run, and so this Seltzer trigger should let me get there. I then find Mars card 499. Before re-rolling. For a Fool, let's go! Check it out, level 500 for kind. I get 6 more Mars cards for KO, and crush around 113. The telescope voucher has been paying off, because every planet pack I'm guaranteed to get a Mars card. 6 more Mars cards, and knocking down around 114. 6 more Mars cards, and now it's time for the big blind of Ante 37. It happens to be ARM, and I think it's super funny to not reroll it. I purposely play a 4 of a kind versus the ARM, as I'm pretty sure this is in itself its own world record. I'm pretty certain this is the world record for the least effective ARM, going from level 501 to 500, making almost no difference to the score. The thought of that happening just made me laugh, and so I purposely didn't reroll ARM. When I score an Ante 37, I realize I'm not going to be able to score high enough to beat Ante 38. Even with the extra Mars cards from KO, it won't be enough to win. At this point, I realize it's my last hurrah. So I spend the rest of the money I have looking for more Mars cards to just get that highest number possible. I'll reroll the shop here and you'll see that I pick up a few Fools to get extra Mars cards. At this point in the run, after 4 hours, I'm basically brain dead. I ran out of money, so I thought, oh, I know what I'll do. I'll sell all my Jokers to get enough money for a reroll to hopefully find a Fool. And that Fool will give me an extra Mars card. But what I didn't realize is that selling my per KO and my Blueprints and Brainstorms, so I was just giving up an extra 6 Mars cards the next round. It's so obvious now in the recording, but I promise after 4 hours, there's not a lot of thought process going on. And after 40 hours of trying this run, I'm not redoing this to also get to Ante 39. So I do the next best thing, and I change the rules. It's my challenge after all anyways. Because I can't beat these blinds anyways, I decide to skip them. And actually I get an extra Mars card in a Celestial pack. Skip the big blind, which doesn't really matter, and then head to the boss blind. I update the timer, and then discard so I only have glass cards left. And now it's time to get that level 1000 hand level. Let's go. This is gonna be fun. I start using the Mars cards one by one. In real life, it took over 20 minutes to use them all. I'm going to fast forward, and in the meantime, I'll show you some of the greatest failures before I got this run. Actually, on attempt 2, I got all the way to ante 37. It was just a cracked run, and I was so happy. I wasn't quite going to get a level 1000 hand level, but after attempt 2, I realized this was definitely possible. I actually picked up a negative dusk in this run, and after using all my hands, I ended up dying, but this gave me a lot of hope that this run was possible. On attempt 4, this run failed because of one of my most common blunders. I just forget to pick up vouchers. Vouchers make a big part of this run, and on ante 10 I'm supposed to be getting the observatory voucher. However, that only works if I pick up telescope, which I forgot. After lots of trial and error, attempt 15 I got this run. After I messed up my blueprint and brainstorm chain, where Perkeo wouldn't give me all my Mars duplications, I just kinda had a rage quit. After 4 hours, I realized I was nowhere near level 1001. And of course, the most common failure of all, being cocky with ectoplasm. I hate when this happens. That was just a brief showcase of some of the most fun failures. Most of the times it was just me making a dumb mistake. However, there was one mistake that actually someone in the comments caught. I want to give a huge shout out to Elise Arish, who said that I should try to change the graphic settings for Balatro. I actually got this comment in the middle of recording attempt 2. What they suggested was going to the graphic settings and turning off the CRT filter. I'm showing you how I figured this out live, in case you want to do this yourself too. The main idea is to find the CRT slider and bring it all the way to the left. And with what the commenter was saying, I think YouTube will render this type of video much better than the CRT blurry video. And now jumping back, it's been 20 minutes of level ups when this happens. Let's go. I got level 1000, and I'm not even done yet. And now fast forward to the rest of the level ups. But I just want to say a huge thank you. I was at 69 subscribers before my last video, and I'm at 241 now. You guys, that's insane. I'm not super good at math, so I asked ChatGPT what that meant, and this is what it told me. Bruh. In all seriousness, thank you so much for all of your support. These videos take so long to record from all the failed attempts, and then editing them takes dozens of hours. I'm having a lot of fun learning how to edit, and I have a lot more content planned. And again, this is only part 3 of 13. You've got to see the rest of the series, so if you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing. And if you're feeling generous, consider dropping a like and leaving a comment. It's the best way to let YouTube know that you like my content, and hopefully others will like it too. And now I give you the world record hand level. Let's go, level 1044. It took over 20 minutes, 23 to be precise, just to use all 500 or so Mars cards. And now playing a 4 of a kind with no jokers. This also, in theory, should be the world record 4 of a kind. And it scores E14. That's insane for having no jokers. If any of you are crazy enough to get a higher than a level 1044 hand level, drop it in the comments below and I'll update the description saying that this is no longer the world record. But I think for a while this should stand. In any case, thank you so much for watching. This has been VEIR. See you later.